Okay, guys, this is Victor from Rackcala. It's very good to see you. This is something new in this channel, and well, like I was talking in my book review, this is our second episode of Tandem. The first episode wasn't released because of some technical issues, and here with me is my guest Ale from Levraw-Online.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
How are you doing, Ale?
Pretty good, honestly.
Okay, guys, so if you don't know, there is a film studio called the Asylum that, well, basically they made movies with similar plots to blockbusters that are going to come out. So we watched Atlantic Rim, which, as you know or you don't, it's the ripoff of Pacific Rim. So what do you think of the movie, Alan?
Man, oh man, what can I say about this movie, right? I mean, where do we even start? The fact that they went not so far with the title already takes us to a good start, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Pacific Rim. Well, what do we call it, guys?
I think
Got
it
an
was
idea.
very funny because I mean it's related to the title. The monsters came from the Atlantic. It was the first scene. I think
Oh yeah, it's in the Gulf, right?
yeah, it's when they're in the oil drilling exploration.
Yeah.
Remember the part that they are in the platform and then the monster starts to shake it up and we don't see the monster until like what 15 minutes, but when
Probably.
it starts shaking the platform and the girl over there is saying, "Ah, we just hit a rock," but how
Yeah,
does a
a rock?
platform hit a rock?
It's
It can move. So it was the first scene and it gave you a hint of how the movie was going to be the whole
That and
hour.
like as they're sending a little explorer sub, right? Because they're trying to see what's happening down there. They keep talking about like this radar, like you said about the rock, right? It's like, oh, there's an object here. We're finding an
The
object.
radar.
Oh my god, you see that radar? And the radar is like a map of the world with like the thing looping around. But like that's not how radars work at all, right? It'd be like the local area, and you can see like if they're in the Atlantic, it's a map, and like around the area, like China-ish, there's like a little blip, bloop,
Yes.
and it's like that's so close to us.
It's very, very close. Nah.
Plus, I mean, nothing like that, like the cabin though for the submarine. Which I mean, come on, we gotta make a mention of that
Oh my
later
god,
on.
the submarine.
So if you guys haven't checked this movie out, it's obviously involved giant robots like in Pacific Rim, and each of them is managed from like a little cabin submarine-ish style. But the thing is, it's the same one from the submarine in the first scene. And you can tell it like right away as you go into it later in the movie. It's pretty funny, honestly. Like it's just the same, like it's like a tube like the ones you find in like the laundry room with like some LEDs and just like the same control pad over and over.
I think the moment that stole the whole movie for me
Mhm.
was the submarine scene, as you mentioned it. You remember when the submarine goes out from the
Oh my
water
god,
and makes that
we have lost contact
and
with.
crashes with the
So
battleship.
yeah, this is around because this movie, I mean, on the good side of this movie, right? Like it got action right away, like
In the first 20 minutes.
20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But then they ran out of they were like, well, what do we do now? Well, we're gonna confront them with another of the same monster. Yes, we spent too much on the CGI for this guy. We gotta just reuse it. So they're looking for a second monster, and all of a sudden a submarine disappears, and it gets thrown out against a boat. They kill a boat with a fucking submarine, and the thing doesn't even have hands, so it must have like crocodile that crap.
There is no easy way of explaining how the submarine go out from the water and make that leap.
Just perfectly aimed. Now, what do you think though about the actors?
The actors. Oh, what do you
Mhm.
think about the excuse of the robots? I mean, in Pacific Rim, at least you got an explanation on why those robots were built. They were built to
Oh, yeah,
fight the
we had them
monsters, but here they were already exist and they were sent to save the little
Yeah.
exploration that was under the water. Which, by the way, they were all dead. But this moment,
They imply that that it was just like a secret like arm, you know, like the stereotypical, oh, we are spending millions of dollars in this secret army project.
the
And I'm
Armada
like,
project.
oh well,
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like we can use it for, well, I mean we can test it by using them on this rescue mission, I guess, since nobody's gonna see them. But like you said, there is no real good reason why they would have like giant armored suits, especially like if you said they were for rescue, for example, they wouldn't have the need for the giant weapons they had
Yes,
later in the movie.
I was
But
thinking
then
why an exploration, a
so
safe
they were definitely
exploration needs a laser in his arm.
exactly. So definitely like they were made for combat and they were being just used in this case, but like again, no main reason for it, man.
About the actors.
Plus, I was gonna say before you finish though,
Okay.
something I found hilarious is that inside of the robots, each of them again, like I said before, had the same cabin,
The cabin.
but none of the cabins had a chair. They were sitting like a stool, and I mean, in all that combat and action, like I feel like everybody would have fallen out, like especially when the guy later on tries to fly. You know what I mean? It's like there is no G's on him pushing him backwards. It's just like, yeah, buddy.
Totally.
Anyway,
I mean,
sorry, actors.
it's a very special weapon. I mean, it can support anything.
Oh, I guess.
About the actors, you were telling a little earlier.
Mhm.
I really don't know what to say. I mean, you have the main
Let's start
character.
by the.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know if he had a real name. They were calling him Red all the time.
Okay, right?
Red.
Because
It was Red,
the
right?
the three main robots were a red one, a green one, and a blue one, and at first they were calling them like by that nickname,
Uh-huh.
but they all had names. What was the girl's
Tracy.
name? Because I know the other guy was because it was Jimmy and Tracy,
Yeah.
right?
And the main
Red
character
just
was Red.
Yeah, so knockoff Kevin Bacon didn't even have a name, and he's the protagonist of the movie, or well, kind of the main character, I guess. He's a hero at least.
The hero.
But the thing is, he was such a loose cannon cliche though. Like I do what I want, and I do what I like when it's right. But
And I want to have fun.
am I right to say?
And I get drunk and
Right,
then
am
I pilot the robot.
Because like he wasn't even likable at all. Like at the very beginning, he's bossed, like you say, before they sent him into action, and he's like, "Nah, we just had like a couple beers once." No, and through that movie, I mean, first of all, he's most of the time drunk. I don't know if you noticed that. Like they go to the bar to party, they do this in the party, then they send him to that dance, and he gets drunk and like obnoxious with the girl. Most of the movie, that's what he does.
and then
Just say.
and then we have the ripoff of C from Men in Black, the commander.
Oh yes, the commander with his non-emotion.
No emotion.
How you doing down
He
there?
has seen some real deep trouble in the DRC, as he told Jimmy.
He was a blank. Just how are you doing down there? I'm holding up. Splendid.
I really would have wanted a scene in which they make a close up to his face and they put a montage of Vietnam
Like
or
flashback.
something.
That would have explained a little bit more, man. Especially since the guy was what was the word? I mean, he didn't seem to make any sense on his character because half of the time he was like, I'm the strict general, but also was like the I hate the system. I'm glad I do what's right. I'm proud of you, sir.
Before we get to that point, we should tell about the characters that are in the background. You remember the part that the robot starts chasing the monster because the monster starts going to the beaches, and
Yes.
then the robot reaches first and goes out, and there was a lot of people in the beach, like 10 people, and then they were all
That's true.
surprised and they start taking videos and pictures of the
Even though
robot.
he said previously, like before the monster even comes out, it's like, hey guys, you guys all need to evacuate.
And they were all like, yeah.
I can Instagram this.
Do you
No,
see
but,
it?
And like the monster comes out and they still take a second to be like, oh, all right. One thing I don't understand, and I wanted to like, I wonder if you have the same question. After he's fighting this monster that is
The
like
first one, right?
Godzilla size. Yeah, like well, in any of the cases, he fights like just giant lizards, right?
Uh-huh.
How is it that there's so many bodies on the ground?
Yes.
Outside, like
In the
like
city.
there have been a shooting. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you either get stumped, so there will be nothing of you, or you were in one of the buildings that he broke. So there would be like a bunch of debris and like maybe arms and stuff coming out. But there was just like the street, a couple of cars, and a bunch of people just laying in the ground like this. And I'm just like, what happened to them? Because the monster didn't like, the monster couldn't like launch lasers like Godzilla or had like any claws or anything to like grasp him. He just had like the big legs, nothing else.
Well, probably Kevin Bacon. When you remember that part that he starts using the laser,
Oh my god!
and the
yes.
monster attacks him, and his arm goes in this way, and the laser
Again,
destroys
he destroyed
a
the whole
real.
hotel.
And he's like, "Whoops!"
And he just goes like, all right, and that's exactly what I mean. Like later on, he just kind of gets off and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna help some civilians because I kinda killed a bunch of them. I mean, what?
Jimmy, the superhero complex.
Oh yes. All right, so I didn't get that. Well, before I go to that, speaking, because I was gonna mention, Jimmy comes out, right, and there's like a dad walking around, and this scene makes like no sense. The dad is looking outside of the bar, but he's not running anywhere. He's just like an NPC in a game that has like two steps one way, two steps the other, and keeps going, Alex.
It reminds me of,
And he
like
tells
I
him-
told you when we were watching the movie, it reminds me of Heavy Rain. The
Yeah.
Jason.
And Jimmy is like, oh, I'll help you, and he goes away.
And he enters a
But
bar.
like yeah, but like for no reason, right? Like if the dad told him, but he didn't. And when he finds the girl, he says, "Your dad sent me." So thus, he knew immediately where to go. But then why was the dad still outside looking for the girl if he knew that he went to the bar to find his girl? You know what I
Also,
mean? Because
how
when the
did
thing is
the
happening, you see him
girl
outside.
in the first place, if she was with the dad and the dad was in the bar, why the girl is
Right.
in the bar?
Yeah, like we wouldn't understand. Like if she was in the bar, you would assume he took her in there, so he would know where she was. But he didn't still. So for some reason, this girl was just in the bar.
And also the bar scene,
But
if you remember,
Mhm.
that they start filming it, the shots look
From the-
like there is a small monster there, and it's going
It's
to
like
attack
something's
Jimmy
gonna
because
happen.
he has his gun.
That's one thing, right? He's like, I'm going for your daughter, and he comes in, gone out first. It's like, oh, that child could be a zombie kind of deal, like in movies when it's like, oh, I'm coming in, but who knows what else is in here. But the top of the thing, though, like you were saying, the superhero complex, though. What is it? Is it he finds a girl and he's like, come with me? No, and for
Red
no
flags.
reason, like the girl is not wearing any. Yeah, but like the girl is not wearing anything that gives him a clue to follow in a statement. Do you like superheroes, don't you? And she's like, yes, I'm a superhero. Okay, really?
No.
Sure. You know what I mean? Like you said, red flags, man. And he takes her out, alright. But now, to all of this stuff, Red, it's in a car locked up. And somehow he heard this conversation happening inside of a building, inside a fire, while he was in the car. And he goes, you go, Superfly, from
Superfly.
inside the car. And that's what I was gonna mention. Did you notice that when he was fighting the monster, speaking of him hearing things or knowing things, somehow he knew the pilot that was gonna come and shoot. The pilot goes, I got the 50mm. Oh yeah, now I'm gonna shoot with this 50mm. The 50mm didn't work. 50mm is the only weapon we know in this script. Anyways, the guy has like a 10-year-old like a sticker
Yeah.
in his helmet that says Spitfire.
Spitfire. Oh my god.
And
A Decepticon
and Red
name.
keeps going. Yeah, but not let alone. Red just knows this dude. He's just like, you go Spitfire. Like, and you would suppose Spitfire is gonna be like a character to the movie. That's the one time this guy.
Well,
just
probably
shows up for
Spitfire
10
is
seconds.
his brother, the one that they share girlfriends with.
Oh my god, I know,
Well,
right?
first of all, we should talk about
The
when
triangle?
Red was taken to custody, and then
Oh,
the
yeah,
commander
okay.
appears and he gives him a speech that makes no sense. Like, I'm proud of you that you broke the rules. Also, I hate you, and I'm going to take you to a party, so you're going to have fun over there, and then I'm going to throw you
You
in
have
jail.
to go.
So you didn't know what you were supposed to feel. Am I supposed to hate the commander? Or am I supposed to
That's the
like
thing.
him? Or what do you
It's
want
because the
from me?
writers like they didn't choose a stance. Like normally it's the commander is like, oh, I'm proud of you and I'm sorry, but the system has to take you anyway. Or I hate you because the system is not taking you because technically you did a good thing, but I am against it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have a sense. It was literally like you said. What is it? It's like you have to go to this ball to appease some people and shake some hands. But right after, I'm taking you back to jail. Why? I mean, I would assume if it's going to the party, people want him out. But then it's like, you broke every rule.
And also, the party was in like a bar or something.
It's like a barn, yes. It looks like a prom or something, and like it looks like even in a barn or like a school gym, you know. And this was a fancy party though, like you said, and he's got like a plastic medal in his hand though that he wouldn't even.
The Medal of Honor or something.
The props, yes.
We have to address the elephant in the room here, Alan. What about that love triangle between Tracy,
Right,
Jimmy,
because
Red?
while she was in the dance, right, she's like, I gotta go see Jimmy. So this was brought up 2 times before they actually addressed it. I don't know if you noticed it. There's at the dance, she's like, oh, I wanna go see Jimmy, and they make Red look like a jerk on purpose, like when he's drinking, like it's the cliche, so that she has a reason to like kind of cheat on him, but not enough really. And then when she's playing checkers with Jimmy, she says something like she's winning. She's like, it's like if I'm playing myself, and he's like, yeah, you are playing yourself. When are you gonna let me get you again? So I jokingly said when we were watching it, like, oh, are they banging?
How
But they
no.
were. Like I didn't really think. Like I was just making a joke. But no, please.
Also, it's well, they touch it again. Remember when the second monster attacks and they escape with the help of this Latin guy from the military that takes them to a bar for no reason.
Which I'm totally sure. I am so sure that was a mistake on editing, man. Like it was supposed to be that scene and then the chopper scene. But we'll touch on that later. The bar scene.
The bar scene. They talk about. Jimmy tries to talk about the cheating and everything, and Red is like, it's okay. I mean, my brother and I used to do that, and it's right around the bridge. And I was like, what the hell?
And Red is such a blockhead though, because he leaves to the bathroom, right? And Jimmy is like holding Tracy's hand. Is like, yo, we gotta tell him. and the camera pans up, and you see Red looking at him while he's holding his hand. He's like, hey man, I said we could share everything. I didn't mean everything. You would assume that Jimmy understood, you know, that there was something going on. But he just thought like he was throwing an advance to her, because then he sees and he's like, so what's up? And we gotta tell you something. We kissed. Oh, that's nothing. I've kissed many girlfriends. Many guys.
Of my brother. He told.
But the camera like looked to her like wait, so you don't care? It's like okay. And Red is like, well guys, I mean, as long as you didn't do anything else.
Well.
And the phone goes off and he's like, what? Yeah, no, they need us at the base. I'm sorry. Whatever you were gonna say, I'm not gonna listen to it, even though it means that you guys, you know.
And then this guy brings him to the place, and the doctor, when she tells him about the neural connection, which it's very cool in other movies, but here it was tore up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They forgot. At first, they tried to make it like a regular mecha, but then they were like, no, let's make it Pacific Rim's like emotionally connected to your robot thing.
Or every single other television, anime, whatever.
Yeah. It's like, let's make it easy.
Okay, so there is this guy,
but
the one which is always at the left of the commander, which by the way has a scar in his eye and a patch, so you can probably tell that he's the main villain. And also
immediately, right? Like
when the third monster is in New York and he's like, yeah, we gotta nuke New York, it's the only way, we have to do it now.
I was gonna say, is it mirrored through the whole movie? He's like, we can use nukes, so I think we should nuke this place. And even after they already killed like 2 monsters, like you're saying, he's like, there's no way we can kill it. Even though we killed 2 already, we cannot kill this one, we gotta nuke it.
No,
you know,
his acting was very stiff. I don't know why, but it reminded me of very bad acting from Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't know why. I think it's because of his face.
Though physically, I always felt like he looked a little bit like the guy who plays the T-1000 in Terminator 2. What's his name? You know, the guy who the one that
The liquid.
shapes into the cup. Yeah, but what's his name? The actor?
I don't remember him. The name I don't remember.
I'll put him on edit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of him, like the little like shape at the bottom. But like you said, his expression though was like very old Van Damme style. He's going.
Also, the other, remember the other scene that I really like about this movie? That it was between this guy, the bad guy. I don't remember his name. I now remember his name.
I think we should say that for later.
Yeah, but remember the scene that he wanted to shut down the mechas, and then he takes his gun and he wants to kill the doctor, and then the commander enters, and then he is going to shot the commander, and he's like, "Do you know?
You can do this.
You can do it. Do you know how I know what it takes to shoot a man? Sheldon." He says Sheldon, like.
I love that moment, man. It's like this whole movie they didn't tell us his name because he was one of the other characters that didn't have one, and then they couldn't think of any other name when they were writing this. It was like Sheldon.
Sheldon. You don't have the courage, Sheldon.
Name.
You're a coward, Sheldon.
It's like if he's teasing him with his name.
And he's like.
Oh man, and that's how he saved his own life, I guess. Because then after that, while he was teasing him, somebody just takes the guy down. It's like, oh, oops. Also, they shoot him. While they take him down, they shoot the higher command guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, we gotta get you to a hospital. And he's like, nah, it's just a flash wound. But they were in a military base, so you tell me there was no like military medic guy who could just literally. It was literally just like a what do you call it?
Superficial one.
But yeah, like you tell me nobody could have like actually, made sure not to get an infection and just banned him right there. I was like, come on, man.
Also,
Yep.
It is in the same moment that's happening. You remember when the mechas have weapons that they come out of nowhere and you don't know?
The melee. Yes, melee weapons. I don't know where. Everybody, just press that button under your seat. Your real weapons.
Why you didn't tell me this when I was with the first robot or the?
No, I know, right? Take him 3 fights to be like, you guys have weapons. Or
all this time.
It was because supposedly their energy was lowering down, so they were like, oh yeah, you cannot keep using lasers. Use a sword and an axe and a hammer. Yes, a hammer. Which, speaking of hammers, did you notice it was like? I want to say it was like a foreshadowing thing, but when Red was in prison, they needed to get him out and they left him locked out. So, by the way, on a wooden door with like a simple knob that you could have just kicked off, but for some reason they cannot open it. So, Jimmy goes and gets a hammer. A regular hammer.
I found it!
He holds it with both hands. Yeah, like he holds it with 2 hands, like if it was an enormous thing, and he keeps hitting it like this, but like, it's a regular doorknob. No matter if you like, even if it was like a metal door or something, the doorknob would have fallen, So I guess this is why Jimmy gets a hammer later as a robot, but he couldn't like. I just found it really funny because he can't take a doorknob, and then when the doorknob falls, you can tell that he just had like the outside of the doorknob, because normally doorknobs they're like the 2 pieces and a thing that goes through and then the actual lock. When it falls, you can obviously see how like the door has nothing inside, so there was no lock to begin with. Red could have just come out apparently.
And in the end, when in the final scenes of the movie, when Red takes the monster to the gravity, to the stratosphere of the Earth.
Let's not forget,
there are no
the
force keys, there are anything, and then he throws him, and then it explodes. And you're like, what the hell did just happen? And then his robot falls all the way to the Earth, and he's fine.
Yeah, and it's not even like they made the drama like. Normally, if you're making a movie, you want to keep a little bit of, like, the tension, right? He falls and immediately cuts away to him already being up, standing in like a victory pose, where like nobody gets like, it doesn't allow you to see all the characters being like, oh no, it's Red alive. You know what I mean? Like that, like
he comes out and all his hair is messed.
Yeah, perfect. Like he just comes out like nothing. Like, hey guys, what's up?
And
No,
the movie,
let's not forget that like
well, first you.
well, I was gonna say, let's not forget, like you said, he lifts up the monster with no problem when he could have barely like hold on to it in the first one, the smaller version of the monster. So he just takes him up to space like nothing. The monster doesn't try to roll up. He just kind of stays like this, and there's no, like you said, there's no problem getting up through against the space and whatnot. While he's carrying a nuke, by the way, again, he has no arms. He's holding it like this. And how is it that the nuke exploded if he had deactivated it? Like,
I don't even know anymore.
anyways, you were saying when the movie ended.
Well, and the movie ended in a high note with an awkward fist when everyone
Oh my
tries
God,
to.
Let's go get a drink. It's on me, guys.
and then
That's okay. We'll try it later.
Jimmy doesn't get the girl. Tracy ends up with
Oh.
Brett. That
Yeah,
she
he
never
won.
comes out again, and the movie ends in a very bad shot in the
Shot.
fire, if you
Yes.
remember.
I remember because we were watching and I was like, there's no way that's the end. It's gonna be like a scene of them getting medals or something. I don't know. But nope.
The Star
that's
Wars,
the end. Just,
typical Star
we ran out
Wars
of time.
ceremony of, Nah, we didn't
But
get
nope,
that.
that's they ran out of time, money or something, and they were like, yeah, this is where we ended. All right. Well, and like you said,
Well,
nobody addressed the triangle again. It was just like a high school movie, like, oh, Red won the Super Bowl. You know, Red won the game. He's my hero now. Jimmy's just like, woo, I'm happy I'm alive.
It was a very, very bad movie. Well, and there are actually a lot of bad things to say about this movie, but, well, we ran out of
Let's talk
time.
about the good ones. Oh man, can I say one thing before we finish?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, there's technically two things. One, buy Cherry, I think was a message in this movie because everybody's driving the same SUV, and I feel like it was somebody's SUV in the production.
The Chevrolet
They were
one,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's the only car they thought looked, you know, big enough to be like an army-driven vehicle. So they all drive the same one though. Like they took off the plate so you think that there's many of the same, but it's literally the same car. And secondly, and this is like one of my favorite movie scenes, along with the submarine. Second monster, the cop. Do you remember
The
this guy? 'Cause,
I remember.
what is it that you do? A monster is coming and everybody's staring at them like flabbergasted, just like. And this guy comes to pull up on this cop, and the cop, instead of being like it's okay or something, he just pushes him out of the way like get off me. But like he doesn't tell anybody to like leave or anything. And once the monster is like, I don't know, 50 meters away from them, everybody starts running and he takes his gun because, you know, if a giant robot cannot stop this guy, it's on me. America! So shooting his way into it.
That was very funny,
So-
if I remember correctly. I really like his
So
face.
like this, yeah. Again, total confidence. You want this guy on force. I mean, come on.
I
but yes,
don't
I
know
mean-
why that guy remind me of over-the-top moments in
Like,
movie history.
yes.
If you remember Independence Day after the president's speech, when there is that guy from the plane that goes like, yes,
Oh yes.
that one, I don't know why,
Classic,
but it
man.
remind me of that.
Because it's like the American hero thing, right? It's like, no matter what, we don't give up.
Well,
Oh,
like I
man.
was telling you, Ale,
yes.
this is a movie with a lot of flaws, but it's actually a very fun movie to watch with your friends. If you don't have anything to do on the weekend, it's a very good shot. And well, if you
Yeah.
can find it online, if you want to support the studio, you can buy it in Blu-ray in Amazon, I think.
Yeah, you probably can find it online.
Also in
anywhere,
Red,
right? Like, as a
probably in
rental or-
Redbox
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Well, Ale, I had a really fun time talking to you today, and let's talk about a new movie next episode if it's good for you.
Yeah, man.
A very bad movie,
Sure.
probably from the Asylum too.
We'll try and watch it. Yes. Because honestly, like, no matter, like, if you take him as what they're trying to imitate, these movies come out a little bit lacking of content. But when you take him as a whole separate thing and you try to see it on a comedy focus, these movies become gold. So I Game, if you want to watch another Asylum next week.
It will be very good for me too.
Well, I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody.
Well, this was Victor from Rackcala. I hope you enjoyed the show and have a very good day.
This is Ale from Levraw-Online, guys.
And
See you
see you
soon.
next week.
Bye.